I do much better listening to books than I do reading them. This book, however, is not available as an Audible, so I have been reading it, recording it, and then editing it so that I can listen. So I'm sharing this here on this channel. The book is called Dollars Flow to Me Easily, and it's by Richard Dotts. It is very good. And this particular chapter is Chapter 5. Chapter 5. Nothing you desire is ever out of your league. The very good news is that none of this work is predicated on your personal belief. You may not believe that dollars can flow to you easily, but they would still do it if you put yourself in a position to receive your universal good. You may not believe that changes can be made in a very short time, but time is of no relevance to the universe. Therefore, rest in the assurance that your current level of belief plays a very small part in your manifestations. Instead, what matters the most is where you choose to place your continued focus on despite your beliefs. Let me explain. When I asked for some really big things in my life, I did not really believe that I could achieve them. In fact, I was skeptical most of the time. None of my friends around me had achieved the same results I was asking for, and no one from my family or social circle had dared to ask for similar things. As such, I was operating under the mistaken belief that those good things were not supposed to be mine. They were out of my league. I am thankful that the universe does not work in this manner. Despite my disbelief that I could have whatever I asked for, physical manifestations still happened for me. All that is needed on your part is a willingness to focus on the desired results and stay there long enough until things happen on the outside. That is the only work you need to do. Leave everything else to the universe. If we had to truly believe in something before the universe could give it to us, many of our manifestations would still be unfulfilled. Since most people have trouble manifesting their deepest desires, they wrongly think that it is because they do not believe that they can have what they ask for. They ascribe their lack of physical manifestations to their lack of belief. A lack of physical belief has never caused anyone's manifestations to be withheld from them. However, if one's lack of belief translates into corresponding feelings of worry, disappointment, resentment, or failure, then those feelings are going to be picked up by the universe, and that is going to be what is manifested. In other words, while the lack of belief alone is not fatal to our manifestations, the corresponding negative emotions caused by our lack of belief can be an impediment to our manifestations. Once you understand this principle, you immediately free yourself from the need to do any of the belief work. Let's suppose that you want to create a reality in which dollars flow to you easily. Before you understood that principle, you might have spent lots of time visualizing and feeling the feelings of dollars flowing to you easily, in the hope that such a scenario will be more believable to you. Or you may have continually pictured yourself living your life with a higher level of income until that mental picture felt real to you. Give up the need to make anything real or believable to you. As we have already established, your level of belief plays a very small role in your physical manifestations. What matters is whether you hold emotions and feelings that are in accordance with and in line with what you are asking for. Suppose you are asking for more abundance in your life. You are asking for a greater flow of money and dollars into your life. You do not have to believe that it is possible for you to live this way. So take belief out of the equation. What you instead have to do is to stop focusing on the lack in your current situation. This means you stop feeling those feelings of worry, fear, disappointment, and blame associated with your financial situation. This also means to stop stewing over them for most of your day. If you'll take this simple step of reducing your time spent worrying, then your good comes automatically into your life, whether you believe it or not. In fact, you can believe very strongly that you will be rich, through immense and intense visualizations or long periods of mental conditioning, but until you let go of those negative feelings of worry and fear, what you believe in can never come to you. Once you achieve this level of understanding, you are instantly liberated to create even better and greater things. Things that up until now have seemed impossible or out of your league. Nothing is ever out of your league, but they can be out of the league of your feelings and inner state. If you intend abundance and prosperity on one hand, but spend your days mired in worry and fear, then you are keeping yourself apart from what you have asked for. You are allowing yourself to manifest the exact opposite of what you have asked for. When I first began focusing on my inner state and returning it to the natural place of love and peace, my physical reality still stayed the same for a while. For a few weeks, my bank balance still remained the same. The more I looked at my bank balance, physical reality, on the outside, the more I was convinced that things would not work out for me. Therefore, a part of myself was still skeptical. Therefore, a part of myself was still skeptical that things would not happen, and that it would still be the same old results all over again. However, what was different this time was that I did not allow myself to dwell on those feelings of disappointment or worry for long. I knew better. I knew that while my physical reality still seemed the same on the outside, powerful changes were happening on the inside. Each time I saw my bank balance or came into mental contact with it for whatever reason, I would mentally remind myself that things were changing on the inside and that this change would soon be reflected in my outer reality. True enough, within the next few weeks, physical evidence began to occur for me on the outside. I began receiving checks in the mail and business opportunities which I had not actively solicited. People and events were now coming to me and falling into my lap without my active intervention or input. This is the universe working magic and bringing you the things that are in line with your predominant inner state. If you hold that inner state of highest love and peace such that nothing on the outside can disturb you, then soon nothing on the outside will disturb you. Everything that you draw to yourself will bring more joy and happiness into your life, but you must make the change on the inside first. This is why I keep harping on the need to ignore physical reality for the time being. Physical reality is not even solid. It is not everlasting or permanent. It is merely a reflection, a mirror of the inner states. Physical reality can be changed in an instant just like this. We have been conditioned all our lives to believe in how real everything is on the outside, not realizing that this reality can be changed at any time simply by working with the very forces that create our universe. Therefore, no matter what your physical situation looks like at the moment, pay no attention to it unless it pleases you. Instead, turn your full attention to the way you feel on the inside. Do you feel good most of the time? Do you feel at peace most of the time? Or do you worry most of the time about the bad things that can happen to you? I can assure you that your inner state mirrors your outer reality perfectly. If you have a peaceful inner state, your outer reality will be beautiful and perfect. If you have a tumultuous inner state, your outer reality will be equally chaotic. When you recognize this link between the way you feel on the inside and your manifested reality on the outside, you would have stumbled upon a very important piece of this manifestation puzzle. Manifestations are not about trying to make something happen on the outside. You are not trying to attract money or anything good into your life as if you are a magnet. Instead, you are opening your eyes to the abundance and the natural flow that is already there for your picking. The prosperity has been there all along, but you have not been able to receive or enjoy it. Why is that so? You have not been able to enjoy it, not because you were undeserving of all that good or because of your sins, but because you were focused somewhere else. You were, through the power of your own thoughts and imagination, focused on a reality where there was lack and limitation, and therefore continually perpetuating lack and limitation. Right now, you may perceive things as being at a dead end. You may not see the light at the end of the tunnel. It seems like you're in an endless tunnel with no way out. But know that everything is only energy, and that the physical reality which you currently perceive as being stuck is also made up of energy. It is held in place by energy, which is always flowing and always in motion. What you perceive as a stuck situation is merely energy, reorganizing and forming itself into the same thing over and over again. I want to read that part again. It is held in place by energy, which is always flowing and always in motion. What you perceive as a stuck situation is merely energy reorganizing and reforming itself into the same thing over and over again. If I wanted to project the same image onto a movie screen for 1 minute, the film spool would still have to keep advancing during that minute. What has to be done is to copy the same image and repeat it several times across all the frames shown during that minute. This is a wonderful analogy because what we perceive to be static and unchanging on the big screen are new frames being repeated over and over again. Our senses think we are looking at the same thing, but the underlying frames used to project that image are changing every single moment. Strictly speaking, we are looking at a new image with every new frame, just that it is an image of the same thing over and over again. This projector analogy illustrates the nature of our thoughts and feelings. Whatever is in your inner state is whatever goes on each frame. Whatever is projected onto the big screen is your outer manifested reality. You just have to change the picture on the small frame to change whatever is projected on the big screen. The problem is that over time, we have come to believe that the projected image on the big screen is real because it is so big and vivid. It occupies all of our attention. We've forgotten that the outer image can easily be changed by simply imprinting the new image on the frame. If you don't like what is in your current physical reality, always remind yourself that you are dealing with an outer projection that is put in place and perpetrated by your inner states. Therefore, don't curse whatever is on the screen. Make a conscious decision to change it from the inside. Start by changing your inner state this very moment. If you'd like to know more about what I've got going on, then please go to my website, wonderfulhappyu.com. If I have anything there that you are interested in subscribing to, I invite you to subscribe. Thanks.